Hey, welcome into a very special Tony Talks Trash About Music. Doing the ride on shotgun today is Dino again. A repeat from last evening. We had so much fun. We're going to come back and start to tackle some of the big ones. Now, what we mean by big ones are big ones in our youth that have big catalogs. So, guess what we decided is we were going to narrow this thing down. So, it's some stuff's not in it you might think should be in it. We don't have any live, we don't have any greatest hits, we don't have any soundtrack things such as Buddha Buddha of Suburbia, or we
Yeah.
don't the Christine F soundtrack, which are both could be attributed at times. But anyway, Dino, what's your did you have any what's your general feeling about tackling big of a
Well, I told you before this could be a 3-hour show. That's
absolutely.
how extensive and how much we could riff off on each album. I mean,
That's right.
track by track, this could be forever, but we
It could
can't.
it could
So,
be.
but I got to tell you, I probably have 8 number 1s. I could have 8 number 1 albums from this artist.
Yeah,
uh,
I
and
love him.
it's hard. It's absolutely, because you never feel right when you're in this situation.
Yeah.
You always second guess yourself and go, but you have to commit. You
Well,
just have to.
it's just today. Tomorrow could be different. But
Tomorrow could be different, kind of like the Crimson Red.
that's right.
I might change on that. I don't know. I
In
don't
the
know
middle.
what's going to happen.
Well, anyway, we're going to go this way. I'm not going to do any spiel today about the commercial success of David Bowie. Everybody knows where he's big, where he's not. Things kind of changed when he went a little bit more private, I guess in the '90s, but everything changed then. But
Right.
nevertheless, there's plenty of stuff I can show you with a way to go. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And if we want to get started, I'm going to go ahead and let Dino read his number 28 through number 25 of this 28 item catalog. We're going to try to get through it in record speed tonight.
Okay. 28 from yeah, Reality. It's my 28. Okay. And
When
then
I
we're
do
going
final, when I do not have one of the five, Joe, there it is.
28, Reality 27. It's a covers album. It's pinups,
Got
you
you, man.
know?
Second,
It's
hold on.
27. Let's see, 26.
27. Here it is, man.
Well,
27.
27 pinups. There we go.
Got you.
26. I know it's here. I can feel it. 26. Give me just a second.
That's fine.
Uh, David Bowie, released in '67. That
Okay.
first release, Deerham Records.
The Darum Records. Yes, that's
Deerham Records.
one that I do not have. One of the five of it. We've got 28 ranking, and you get two of
So,
them.
yeah, so we got to go to
We got one more.
25.
25.
20,
But
25 is uh, April 19th, 87 on EMI. Never Let Me Down.
oh my God.
I used to call it Always Let Me Down.
Isn't it funny? This record actually, when they re-released it, there's a song on here, the next to last song on the first side called "Too Dizzy." That was took off. They
They
took off,
took off the initial release.
threw
Yeah,
it out. Or Urzel Kizzle K or whatever the guy's name was that played pretty much.
right.
Yeah, man, that was a I like the tour though. I remember seeing the tour. I thought the tour was pretty cool.
Was that the Frampton tour?
That was when Frampton played with the glass.
That yeah, I did not. That was one I did not go to, and I think it's because I bought the album
Yeah.
before
Well,
the
my
tour.
girlfriend and I got at the time got up real close. It was kind of it was.
Yeah, see, I mean, and you probably have a different take on the album because you saw it live.
Yeah, some of it I
You
would say.
did.
Yeah,
You
I did.
saw certainly a bigger portion than I ever did.
Yep. Here I'm going to go, man. I'm going to get started to keep rolling here. On number 28, we're going to delve into two in a row that I do not have on vinyl. It is the second of the two Tin Machine records. Tin Machine 2 is my number 28.
Yeah, yeah,
Tin Machine 2, I think, is a little bit panders a little bit too much towards, Baby Universal, One Shot. It's a little bit trying to be a little bit too pop, although I will say Shopping for Girls is okay, but Goodbye Mr. Ed is exquisite. That's a great song. I will
right.
admit, You Belong in Rock and Roll and all the stuff that the Sales Brothers kind of chuck in on it. not that great for me. Number 27 is the great first record on Darum. David Bowie, his 1967 record. A lot of cool stuff, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
but a lot of stuff you can see later. But the Anthony Newley comparison, and you can also hear Rubber Band, Love You Till Tuesday, it's Boy Blue, blah blah blah. Okay, number 26. I'm going to get to one where I'm going to probably get a lot of shit on this, but this is one that I never got. I have tried. I have tried so hard. I don't get it, man. Don't understand it. Number 26 is Outside. I
Wow.
can't cope with the sound of it. I can't cope with the lack of what I consider to be pleasant intervals, pleasant. I don't get it. I don't understand what he's trying to do with it. It's kind of like falls in the same hole that Raven falls into with
Right.
Lou Raven. I don't get it. Uh, and number 25 is one that you mentioned too. The covers album Pinups. We're both on this.
Yeah. I
This
mean,
Ainsley Dunbar on drums. Interesting for a short while. And Friday on My Mind. Here Comes the Night. If you would, I wish you would. Interesting way to get to know these songs, but it's just bizarre that he would try to do this. But you know what's funny is he did Pinups, and
right.
then Todd Rundgren did Faithful. This almost the same thing. Played all the songs from the same era when he was young. So he did that in '66. His Faithful record. Go ahead, Dino, and give me number 24 through number 21.
Okay. So, number 24 on the hit list. Give me a sec. 24. One that I probably wish I could have put a little lower. Hours from 1999 on version. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
I'll talk about it later in my thing, but
yeah. Number
it's a little
23.
lower.
Number 23 for me. Outside. Look at that. Not too far away.
Well, good. I'm not,
23. But I saw that tour with Trent Reznor and it was pretty
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, I've grown to appreciate Trent since the
But you know what it is
thing.
that Bowie's a chameleon. He takes on a lot of different. Um, he integrates whatever he hears and loves into his sound, and that was his industrial. You know, that was. This is going to be my industrial album. You know, outside, really good
Wow.
tour though. I got to say. So that's 23. 22. I think I know what that one is. Uh, 22, Tin Machine 2.
Great.
Is where that one is. 23. Now, am I doing 21 also?
You're gonna do 21 also. 10
Okay.
you know, you're right with that. What's it? I'm La Pura and you can't talk. It's
Yeah, I actually like some of the live stuff better
fun
on that
guitar player.
live in Japan. Yeah.
Gabriel's incredible. Gabriel's an incredible guitar player.
Yeah, he's amazing, and we'll get to him in a little while when I get to my top 10.
Oh,
Toy is number 21. That's the posthumous release. That's it.
got it right here. What a kind of a strange record. Find it
Yeah.
strange. So that's your 20 up to
Hmm.
one. Gotcha, man. So that's your up to 21. Let me go with number 24. Number 24 might surprise some people, but man, I got no use for the pop and putting on the red shoes, dude, man. I'm not that into it. The Stevie Ray okay, but I think putting out fire with gasoline and the remake of China Girl's okay. Ricochet's okay, but a lot of this album is Shake It and stuff is mediocre. The songs aren't great, and I think he cruised through.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think some of the songs are even better on the follow up, and the follow up got even less shit. And that's my number 23 tonight. Tonight, number
Tonight.
23, Tumble and Twirl, Blue Jean, Dancing with the
Yeah.
Big Boy. Loving the Alien, Don't Look Down, the reggae version. It's okay, but God only knows. I'm not a big fan of that version of that.
Yeah.
Number 22, man, I'm with you. Toy. It's okay to hear these songs updated. I appreciated it. I don't really know where to put it. It's hard for me to digest it. And true, and I probably should have included this in the rating. I'm doing it and giving it a favor because I did listen to it a bit after it was out. I grew to like it a little more. The production first kind of put me off because it
Yeah.
was I didn't really understand why you would want to redo like Silly Boy Blue and can't help thinking about me in these kind of a way. It's just
Right.
strange, it's a strange remake of stuff, I think, style wise. But and then I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, and we're going to also hit the bottom of the pack too. With number 21, "Never Let Me Down" from 1987. Yes, the songs, the sameness of the thing is the problem. You know, you've got this Earth
Yeah.
playing almost everything. "Time Will Crawl" and "Beat of Your Drum" is just kind of too just a hard day in day out. "Never Let Me Down." "Zeros" is good.
Yeah.
Bang, "Shining Star" I don't mind. I 80s, "Too Dizzy Stupid," "Bang Bang." I don't get
Right.
it, man. "Zeros" is a cool song, but yeah, it's not it, man. I was it's not my idea of the best of Bowie anyway. That's my number 21. So you need to give me 20, sir, through 17, if you would, please.
20 through 17
Yes, sir.
is, yep, 1 second. My 20 is, let's see here. I know I have it.
You got it.
I'm just trying to find it here. 21, 22. Let's see.
We're down here. They can get close apart here.
Yeah, yeah. I just have so many. Uh, wow. So I got 21. My 21 was toy. Okay, we're at
20
20, correct?
through 17. Yes, sir.
20 through 17. We are at 20 is Tonight, uh, from 1984.
1984, man. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay. 19 on this one. Let's see here. 19, Black Tie, White Noise from 1993.
Ooh, here we go. Oh, I didn't put "Tonight" up. I'm sorry either. My
There,
bad.
yeah. Yeah,
Tonight up.
Black Tie, White. A lot of sax, I
Hold on, man.
remember.
Let me put "Tonight" up first. Hold on. Let me put "Tonight" up.
Yeah.
My bad. "Tonight" was not put up. I'm sitting lazy on my bun. Okay. Go ahead, man.
So we were at 19, Black Tie, White Noise. Then
Yes,
we've
sir.
got to go to 18. 18 is, let's see, my 18, got it here. Let's see. 19, Black Tie, White Noise. 18, Young Americans,
Gotcha.
actually. Young Americans at 18. I got one more.
You got to do one
And
more.
one, yeah, there we go. Young Americans.
1974 Philly Soul Records, Sigma Sound, recorded with Luther Vandross and Anthony Hinton. Go ahead.
And the saxophonist that just passed away recently.
He did.
Who am I thinking of?
David
Um,
Sam,
David Sanborn, all over that album.
no question.
Unbelievable. And I don't think Bowie ever played with him again after that
I don't think.
album. I don't think so. So 17,
17's the last one of this bunch.
David Bowie from 1969, the other self-titled.
Which one you mean?
17, not the one on Deerham, but
Oh, yeah,
the
Space Oddity.
yes, basically, yeah.
Yeah, what they call a man of word, man of music. I have the other version of that over there too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep, I know which one you mean. Okay,
17, that's from 69. Yeah.
it, it is. What was that other? This had an alternative cover here. I was going to show you.
Yeah, it did. And I
But
can't remember.
I love that. You know, the one I really wanted to get was that one that other live one that they had over there. But anyway, yeah, here it is. This is it.
Yes. Yes.
First one.
That's
Okay.
it.
All right, man. Now my turn. My turn for number 20. One I do not have, Joey. Reality.
You
Reality.
don't have reality.
2003. I've got it on CD. I had it on CD. I really don't know if I even have it because I don't play CDs now. I wasn't super impressed. I mean, I took a trip on a spaceship. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And but I mean, the truth of it is, I look down this lineup. New Killer Stars, okay. Pablo Picasso, the cover, it's okay. Days, that's kind of a cover. You've got that, and then the well, it's that's not a cover. That's a different one. But you got to try some, buy some with George Harrison, which is really surprising. But
Right.
it's a man. They do another Japanese tour edition. They did another cover of Ray Davies here. I don't know why they're so into that. The Loneliest Guy, that was something too, but no, just didn't hit me. And two, somebody made a comment about this artwork, and I would agree. It's probably the worst artwork from a major artist I've ever seen in my life. It's so unattractive.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's my
The
number 20. My number 19 was the Maudlin Hours, and I'll tell you, when you said at the beginning, I was say, but it's grown on me, man. Thursday's Child's decent. I enjoy
yeah,
my life. What's really happening? The pretty things are going to hell. That's kind of a weird song, but Brilliant Adventures and the Dreamers. I've really kind of gotten into this. I don't like that. What's really happening? I think that's stupid. I don't know. They both.
yeah. I need to revisit it, but I just, man, I put it
But
down.
of
To,
Reeves game, man, here it is. But I mean, the mid tempos. I agree. The maudlin mid tempos and the depressed,
yeah,
like he's under depression or something. It's weird. And number 18, the drums and bass thing. Earthling, the record from here. Big song with that song, you little wonder you was a big hit. And it's I like it, but again, it's kind of following something here. Looking for satellites. This was one, Telling Lies.
Battle of Britain.
Long,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. Good record. I don't 7 years in Tibet, decent. I got on vinyl, nice
Oh,
copy.
nice.
uh like the inside too. It's kind of neat, but and this is the one with Gail McDonald or whatever playing bass, or
Gail
no,
Ann Dorsey.
Dorsey, Gail
Yeah,
Dorsey playing
Gail
bass.
Ann Dorsey, longtime bass player.
Yeah, she was
For
with him forever. That must mean she's pretty poor, because I understand he didn't pay a shitload of money. But
well, I
I'm
met her.
younger, but that's what a lot of people complain. They say, "Yeah, I love the exposure, but the man was cheap." And then maybe he learned that from Tony DeFries. All that stuff at the beginning. They acted like millionaires before they actually
Well,
were.
that's why the I think the Spiders broke up. It's
Yeah.
because of him.
Well, number 17, you know where I'm going, man. I'm going to go to the very first Tin Machine record. Baby Can't Dance.
Oh,
Baby
okay.
Can't Dance. Baby Can Put You Down. Whatever it is. I forget. It's a good Prisoner Crack City. I can't read and I can't write down. Ding, ding. That's a really out of control
yeah,
balance record when you talk about stuff. I
yeah.
love the record. They tried not to compress it as much as they could, and they left it wide open. I appreciate them taking advantage of the whole thing, but my God, the power of Tony, and for them to let Tony back in, Tony and Hunt especially back in after everything he'd done. Man, he's a wild man. I think he was I don't know if he's still alive. I don't think he. I think one of them passed, but yeah, what a band. And what an idea, those two guys, Bowie and Reeves Gabriel. Whoever came up with that. It's a noisy fucker, but at number 17, you can tell I don't hate it. So anyway, that's my number 17. Dino, give me 16 through 13, and then we're going to be down to two, and then from then on, we'll be trading off one on one, brother.
Okay, 16 through 13. 16 from 2013, the next day. Um, that's my 16.
The
Um,
edited, the edited Heroes cover
yes, yes. 16.
rights record.
Then we go to 15, and that hunky dory at 15.
La 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 la. That's surprising to me, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I told you there's 10 number ones here in my book, so
story.
I had to put them somewhere. So
Right.
15 hunky dory from 1971, and from 1973, Aladdin Sane.
Ooh, is number what?
14.
14. Yeah, yeah, yikes.
And then I go to 13, right, on this one?
You go to number 13, brother, and then we got two more. That's right.
13 from
We're getting up.
1974. The next year, Diamond Dogs.
There it is.
There it is.
Genitalia.
Classic.
I want the genitalia. I used to. So
No genitalia on that
not
album. That's
only.
genitalia free.
That's
Um,
neutered. It's new.
yes, that was neutered. So that's my 13. I mean, you know,
And then,
I'm kicking myself in the ass, but I don't have anywhere else to put these. You
you're
know.
right. You're right. You're right. There's only so much room at the top, man. At number 16 for me is 2002's Heathen. I do not have it on vinyl. Should I have it on vinyl? Yeah, I remember having a nice
Yeah, I
little
would say so.
with all the different panels of it and stuff with the different faces, marked out and different
Once
crazy.
again, phenomenal tour. I saw that tour.
Uh,
It
yeah, man.
was,
What a set list. So that set list. When
and
let's
and
take a
he
look.
got to cover one of his favorite bands, which was the Pixies.
And Neil
Uh,
Young, right? He does up. I've been waiting for you.
yes, and he did
Yeah,
Cactus on that album,
I
and
took it
and
on a Gemini. That was this record. I thought it was the other record. Okay, Cactus Slip Away's really good. A Slip Away's one of the best.
oh man,
Yeah,
it's
and
got some real gems on them, and they were fantastic
yeah,
live.
Ethan the Rays. That's good too. So yeah, that's a good record, man. Number 15 I have is the last one, Black Star. I admit I didn't dip into it because I didn't want to get any of it on me, man. When you get to be 60 some years old, you start worrying about this stuff. And when he sings so bluntly about it, but I think Lazarus is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
Dollar Days, I like too. I can't give everything away. It's kind of unsettling.
it's
I know,
hard to listen to sometimes. It
yeah, I
really
went
is,
about Sue, but Lazarus is just fantastic.
and
But
it's
then
like the last Warren Zevon album. It's very very difficult,
very hard to listen to. Yeah.
very hard.
14. I'm with you in the same, probably much in the same way. The next day, the stars, love is lost. How does the grass grow? Where are we now? I'd rather be high. You feel
Right.
lonely. So she is. It's just some of this record is pretty good. I remember this to be some kind of a of a comeback in the sound, and the sound was real bright. And it was kind of,
Right.
but the stars are at the. I listen to it now, and there's nothing that really, none of these songs really jump out as especially great. I thought at the time it was good. 14, and then I'm going to go to number 13, which is the same thing as the Space Oddity, man.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
like a lot of songs on this. Unwanted and Somewhat Slightly Days, Letter to Hermione, Occasional Dream, God, Memory of Free. I love all this stuff.
It's great.
It's
It's a
the
good
building.
album.
It's a building blocks. But
Very
anyway,
good album.
that's my number 13. So give me two more, man. Give me your number 12 and your number
12
8.
and 11.
Yes, sir. If you may.
Okay, 12 from 1976 from RCA Records, Station to Station.
Ooh.
Okay,
Number 12 with a nice all the
fantastic album.
together.
Man,
Earl Nick on guitar. Rock.
throes of his cocaine addiction.
Yeah, he's in the living
Um,
a vampire eating red peppers
yeah,
and drinking milk because all he did lived on milk and red peppers. What a
and yeah, and my 11,
yeah.
uh, Tin Machine, the first one.
Whoa, the first Tin Machine record. There you go, Joe. Put it right there. Wow, man. Yeah, go ahead, man. Expound some on what you love about it.
Well, I mean, it's
We're almost
almost like it should be its own category in a lot of ways, because he got together with the Sales Brothers, Reeves. It was just, it was great. It was stripped down, small band, uh, pretty raw sound, big sound, big bottom sound, bass and drums, the Sales Brothers, and I think it was good for him. It was like he kind of shed
kind
some weight, those big tours and those, and the sets and everything. I missed the show at the Nation that he did with Tin Machine.
of
I
kind of like it's almost like you feel like he captured a little bit of that when he went to play drums. I mean keyboards with the Igster on that tour or what?
Right. I mean, and it was just
Not,
stripped down, bare stage, bare stage, and just those guys coming out, and
yeah.
and I think he had a lot of fun. You know, it almost was like a stress free experience. You know, go in, cut the album, don't have to worry about, oh my God, we got to get, you know, two
Based on
hundred crew
Bowie.
members and lights and
Yeah, all those other guys
sets and
probably got paid shit for Bowie, but who knows the way they struck.
right. And if they made money that tour, I mean, I mean, they certainly weren't playing stadiums. They were doing large clubs and theaters. But I think it was an enjoyable time for him, and it was a really solid band, and it brought the Sales Brothers back. I mean, most people hadn't heard from them since they played with Iggy. You know,
Number 11 for you, man. Now ready for my 12 and 11. Here we go. Number 12. Rated a little bit higher than you. The Black Tie, White Noise. I love Jump, they say. I think Jump,
good
they say,
album.
one of the freaking best songs that he ever wrote in the 90s. I know it's sounds like jungle drums, and he does a lot of stuff with the wedding song, playing saxophone here. Version of I Feel Free, Black Tie, White Noise, I don't mind. The version of Night Flights, that's a Walker Brothers, that's a Scott Walker song that
Right,
was the that was on the Night Flights record, which is really the only Walker Brothers record that sent Scott off on his madness. And I'm going to be doing one basically on him before long. I love the
right.
cover, Let Me Down and Down, and I know it's going to happen someday. The Morrissey thing, man. I think yeah, I love this record. I think it's underrated here, and that's my number 12. Now I'm going to go to number 11, and I'm going to touch the bottom ring, man. And a lot of people going to maybe get mad, but I'm going to touch the bottom rung of the Berlin Trilogy, buddy. Number 10, Lodger. Lodger record. And I know it's probably very higher on you because it's got a Baloo influence. And I know that always counts. Your
Well, yeah. I mean that whole period is huge on my list. Huge.
Fantastic Voyage, Don't Look Back, Turkish for Long Live Yassine, Night,
Oh God.
Red Sails, Far Away. DJ, Boys Keep Swinging, Look Back in Anger, Repetition, Red Money. Yeah, great era, great pop record. Still baffled by the still baffled at times by the nature of it being a little bit different. It was one of the ones recorded there, but you can clearly see that there's a movement towards what ended up being, his commercial peak with Let's Dance. And that's my number.
Absolutely.
Let's get going on the top 10, brother. You're number 10.
Okay,
Irony's back and forth, man.
number 10 actually, believe it or not, is Black Star.
Whoa.
Yeah, kind of a sentimental choice. Basically, the last album, of course, and you know, uh,
Everything you
besides the posthumous toys, and like you said, Lazarus, it's just it's a good album. I mean, it's a really good album, and he was making the music he wanted to make up until the very end, you know, and he wasn't doing anything that he didn't want to do, you know.
right.
Uh,
He was a good man.
phenomenal. Like I said, just very depressing for me because I know that he knew he was sick the whole time he was in the studio, and it's yeah, it's the last thing he ever released. What was it released? And then he passed. Was it 2 days later?
Yeah, I got it on a Saturday, and he was dead on Sunday. I got news that he died.
Yeah.
First time Saturday night, I was almost like stunned, chilled because I bought it in Pittsburgh. My wife and I were up in Pittsburgh, and I bought it actually from a
Did
record.
you
I
bring it
wasn't
home?
getting it. I was going to get it, but I wasn't planning on getting it there. And I saw it on sale. I said, okay, I'll get it up there.
Did you bring it home and play it as soon as you
Yeah,
did?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I got home in time to play it. It's free, only one time.
Yeah.
I
Before
didn't
he
really.
passed.
And then the next day, I was like, I listened one more time. I was like, man, this is weird. But anyway, let me go to my 10. I don't want this to last forever. Let me tell you what my 10 is. My number 10 is Hunky Dory. Now, I rated it higher than you, and I think it's unbelievable.
Wow.
I think I just told you the other day that I put together of some of the more overrated records of all time, and I would put that on this list because
Yeah.
of the like Song for Bob Dylan, 8-line poem,
Right.
Quicksand. Even the Bewley Brothers to me is a bunch of honk honk. I mean, I like it okay, but I think it's really kind of hippy dippy and overplayed. So that's why I put it at. I listened to it plenty. I love some of the songs on it. Remember Queen Bitch? Mitch and I played that.
Right.
We had a
Yeah. I
lot of,
love. I love Queen Bitch. Yeah.
you pretty
Love it.
things. Is a course, Life on Mars, great. But okay, that was my number 10, man. Hunky Dory, 71.
So we go to 9, right?
Number nine. Number nine. Nine, man.
Well, we definitely differ on this one. Let's Dance at 9, top 10.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay,
top
man. Up
top
here.
10. Let's Dance, 1983 on EMI.
There.
Biggest the reintroduction of David Bowie, the pop star,
That's
uh,
great.
and I saw that tour twice. Big, and I don't like going to stadiums and arenas. I don't believe you should see music where you see a football game. Um, so I don't like watching, paying $300 for a ticket and watching on TV. Um, but that one, I got to tell you, that band was phenomenal that year. That was Carmine Rojas.
Yeah.
That was Earl Slick. That was, it was everybody. It was his big, it was his touring band, and they were
Nation.
phenomenal. And the second tune was "Life on Mars," and it was just the sun was going, was setting, and I, even though it was a stadium, I was up close, and I knew the band well, and I'd seen set lists and everything, so I saw that tour twice in a week,
Whoa.
week's time, and it was great, and it was so wild to see him playing these giant, these. I mean, it had been 3 years since the last release, and then he completely reinvented himself again, like he always
Yeah.
does.
It was a rebirth.
It was a rebirth, and he came right screaming back, and I mean, to see someone like him getting those kind of crowds, the
Well, yeah, and that leads me to what my number nine is. My number nine would probably be the landing point of that last period before that, which is Scary Monsters.
there you go.
Wildlife, because you're young, it's no game. Ashes to Ashen Fashion, Up the Hill Backwards. It's fantastic. 1980. I think it's, in any other day, it could be even higher. I love this record, 1980. I don't, what else do I say? It's considered out of the period of his Berlin trilogy, but nevertheless, I still think influenced pretty ripely by that. So that's my number nine.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic album. Best Saturday Night Live performance, I think, of all time.
Great. It
When
is
he
great.
came out with Klaus Nomi, that was an absolute
In the
mind
yeah.
ripper. It was a mind ripper, and we watched it. We watched it live. Yeah, Mitch and I watched it live. It was just we're waiting all week for it, and I was absolutely flabbergasted. Yeah,
Good stuff.
uh, it was fantastic. So 8 is where we're headed.
Uh-huh.
Now we get into the meat and potatoes of the situation. We go to 1977 on RCA. Heroes is my number 8, but it could have been number 1. There we go.
Fripp all over it,
Rip all over it. Uh, you
Robert
know,
guitar right there, it is right there.
the part of the Berlin experience that
This man.
Bowie had,
It's right in
the
the middle,
Berlin period.
right in the
Yeah.
center,
Oh yeah.
right in the middle of the Eno with his cards of what they call the oblique deck or whatever. Anytime they out, they just drew a card and followed it. Incredible.
Oh yeah.
Great record, man. That's your number.
8.
That's number eight. Okay, man. My number eight is going to be one you had a little bit lower. That is Aladdin Sane. I love Mike
Yeah.
Garson. I love Time. I love Lady Grinning Soul. I love Panic in Detroit and Cracked Actor. Driving Saturday. Watch that man. Yeah, this has a little bit of a stranger thing going for it. It sounds like it was. It sounds like it was recorded. Part of the way. I don't know. It sounds like it was recorded while he was on tour, and it probably was. They say Panic in Detroit, and some of these songs were written in different places. And I think inside cover, I'm not going to take it up now, but it's printed like that. But anyway, that's
Right.
my eight man Aladdin Sane, right in the burn years, right after Ziggy retired. That was the next record after the end of Mister Stardust. So
Right.
73 Aladdin Sane, man.
That's it. Good album. I mean, like I said, could be anywhere. Could on another day it could be top 3. So we're at number 7.
We're at 7, man. Closing
Seven
in.
from 1979, Lodger.
Oh, I had it, man.
Yeah, Lodger. Phenomenal. Great song selection. I don't know what else to say about the album that you already didn't say. Just that whole period was
DJ, I am the DJ.
that,
What
that
you?
whole period, you know, was that late 70s in
He was,
the
he was a superhero, man. You know who I am, he
yeah.
said. Mount, Mount Sinai or something from the
And
top.
those, and I'll tell you what, that was the advent of uh, the video. I mean, the
Oh, yeah.
videos from that album, DJ,
No,
everything,
I-
they were great. They were unlike anything you've ever seen.
it is. It's great, man. Let me roll on, man. I'm moving to number 7, and it's now my time for the Philly Soul thing. It hit me a little bit harder because I love Can You Hear
Ah,
Me? I love that, and I love Taking It All the Right Way.
yeah.
Fascinating. When I to me,
Nothing
man,
wrong.
it's killer. I mean, Todd is a lot of a white boy singing soul, and it's a lot of Philly stuff and the
Yeah,
Delphonic, all that
yeah.
stuff, Expressway to Your Soul, and all that. So I mean, it's a Philly scene and recorded there, and I love it, man. I think even though they said it's plastic, so the players he had around him were
Oh,
genuine.
they were all phenomenal, like we talked about.
Luther Vandross was is really
Oh
his.
yeah,
He launched into a
he
superstar in R&B. So
he rounded up the heavyweights in Philly for that
he
one.
and he didn't even
He
need
really
to.
did.
Yeah,
No, but they wanted to. Yeah,
absolutely.
that
Well,
was the period of that was the Soul Train appearance,
it was.
the
Yeah,
original Soul Train appearance.
yeah.
What and once again, first white artist
You've got,
of all time to appear on Soul Train.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's into the hard stuff. Number 6 for you, man. What's your number 6?
Number six, we're sticking with the excellent period, January of '77. Low. That's it.
Always crashing in the same car, man.
Hanging with Iggy, meeting Ralph and Florian.
Art
Uh,
Weeping Wall, Subterraneans. That second side, I'll never forget it. I went up to Jack's house,
Unbelievable.
where I'm talking about, that was like where the Candlewick is now. We would
Yeah.
go up with this guy in high school, and we would be, up there, and when we played, I brought this record home. I brought it home from the record store, and we spun it up there. We were all Bowie fans, and
Yeah.
everybody was like, I wanted to get
It's
it home. I wanted to listen to it. What in the world? I love the first side.
it's phenomenal.
But then the second, Breaking Glass, especially, what in the world, Sound and Vision, it's just so different. They don't care, and you can really hear the noise. It's funny. I just did a countdown on noise, and you can really, especially hear the influence of that sound of a kind of a space rock from that. But yeah, man, that's a great record. It's a great one, man.
It
That
is.
number. What's that number for you?
That was that was six.
That was your number 6. Okay, man. My number 6 is going to be the one you had a little lower. Heroes.
Uh,
Joe the Lion, Blackout, Sense of Doubt, The Secret Life of
V2 Schneider.
V2 Schneider, love it, man. Sons of the Silent Age.
Great.
Listen to tracks by Sam Therapy and King Dice. I love it, man.
It's
Heroes,
so hard with these.
thing on it, but you get tired of the whole thing. But what an iconic cover, and it's just another. He just was on his own, man, trying to. He said, as he and Iggy Pop said, trying to go straight from hard drugs in the hard drug capital of Europe. They move right to it. So that number 6, and that is Heroes from 1977. We're up to 4.5 stars. Let me give you the countdown for me, man. My at 2 stars up to Outside. Then we're uh then we're at what I consider to be 2.5 through Toy, and then you start to get into 3 to through Earthling, and then 3.5. So now we're up at this point.
Yeah.
These are all 4.5, 5 star records. I mean, you look at these. Earthling 3.5. Toy 3. An Idea, Lodger 4.5. So we've been in the meat since Black Tie White Noise for me 4 plus.
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, man. We're five. The next ones are fives. My next top five are all 5 star.
Top five. We're probably going to differ here, no, but we aren't because I know what you have left.
Okay.
So
How do you know?
now my five way different than what your five is going to be. I think
Okay.
my number five is Earthling.
Your number five is
Is
Earthling. I got you. I got you,
Yeah.
man.
Now, and the funny thing is, a few weeks ago, I read a comment from Robert Smith of The Cure.
Uh huh.
My favorite Bowie album since Scary Monsters is
Wow.
what he said. Now that was 17 years
Mm,
previous.
wow.
And I read some of the reviews. They were very good in retrospect. And I saw this show in a club of 1,400 people. And right up
Expensive,
front,
right?
what's that?
The ticket was probably high, expensive as shit.
It wasn't. It was like, no. I saw it in it. They did a club show. They played at the same club that Tin Machine played at.
Wow.
It's called the Nation,
Yeah.
and it's rubble now. There's nothing. It's gone.
Wow.
It's in Southeast DC. But
Yeah.
to be that close, and that was another phenomenon. That was Reeves, Gabrels. It was you know Gail Ann Dorsey, Zach Alford, Mick Garson. It was phenomenal.
And that's number five, man. I got you. I got you. That's your
Yeah,
number five.
that's
What
yeah,
makes it
Earthling.
got different things? Number five is the only one we saw in the Woolworth store that everybody, me and Mitch and everybody else had. Man Who Sold the World. And I
Yeah.
this day love the angular bass playing of the producer here, Tony Visconti, who just went nuts on bass and thought you just
Oh
it's
yeah.
shit you
And
ever heard.
the two covers, you have the original cover, right?
I have this cover. I don't know which one it
I
is.
think that might be the original cover. There's two. There's the other black and
Yeah,
white.
black one where he's doing the stage kick. Yeah, with
Yes.
the circle, all the madman after all. Something about this. It's not.
Oh, that album.
It's its own thing. I love it, man. The Superman. She shook me cold. What a fucking metal. When he starts riding that bass up and they play that.
And I don't know if you've ever heard I don't know if you ever heard Cobain and Nirvana's cover of
Yeah, oh yeah.
Man Who Sold the World on the Unplugged.
Right, the unplugged. It's really good.
That's
Yeah,
one of the best Bowie covers I've ever heard.
it's really good, man. And that's my number five, bro. Top
Number
four.
five. So now, once again, we're gonna separate a little more. Heathen is my number four.
What is
Heathen,
the one I do not have, Joe? Number four
Heathen.
on vinyl.
June 2002. Saw that tour too. Great band. That album had so many. That's one of those albums I listened to a lot when it came out in 2002, and that made me want to go see the tour, and I did. Had really good seats for that, and the band was phenomenal, and he was in a great mood for that tour, and the album just holds up. I went back and listened to it about 2 or 3 months ago, and I was just like, man, there's some gems on this
That
album,
yeah,
you
that's in
know.
the louder, louder, loudest period of time, and some of that like '90s and stuff. His stuff that I hear, maybe I just need to rehear it because it
Yeah, well,
fucked.
this was 2002. This was past the
Top,
the, the
yeah.
90 period, and that was it was a very solid album. And I remember the
I had it
reviews
on.
when it.
I remember I listened to the shit out of it. I listened to it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't take it off for weeks, and I just remember, and then I saw it live, and I just went home and listened to it again, and I said, "Wow, they did this album right." And I wasn't disappointed in the production either on the
Nice.
album. It was really good.
Well, here's where I'm going with my number four, man. Everybody says that there's an obvious number one. Well, not with me, man. This is number four in my book. Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. 5 years, Soul Love, Moon Age Daydream. I love. I don't like Rock and Roll Suicide very much. I don't. Lady Stardust is okay. I like the earlier version of it. Suffragette City, of course, everybody played in the band. Ziggy Stardust
five
is
years.
a song that anybody should be. Anybody should. I don't usually believe in these dictator thing, but I think if anybody would cover that song, they need to be executed. That's that you don't
What's
cover
that? What
a song that
song?
makes up a character about it's his. My God, leave him alone. That's when I heard Bauhaus did that when I remember I was at a show and my girlfriend had liked them or whatever, and they played that shit. And I was just like, oh my god, I just was just I had did not like any of that stuff. Love and Rockets, that stuff's just not for me, man. Anyway, that's my number four, Rise and Fall. Ziggy Stardust, 1972. I know it's a legend. I know it's an industry. Go ahead, brother.
And my number three,
Yep.
Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Just same
Uh,
one.
June of 1972 on RCA.
Yep.
Once a month, I go back to you. I go to YouTube, and you need to go to YouTube and just watch that live at the BBC of the original Spiders with Ronson on piano, and watch that 5 years when they do 5 years. You look at that band and you go, man, I would have loved to have 8 albums from just that force of that.
And
You know,
that's why they're doing all this shit about reminding it and getting another album and another record store day and another one. I get tired of it. I'm not buying
no,
it.
I don't like but I'm just talking about something that's been there for years. But
Yeah,
that
like Holy and that shit. I
you
mean,
got to watch that BBC. They were hitting on all cylinders, man.
oh
You
yeah,
know, and that
yeah,
was the original. That was right when the album came out, and the quality of that is amazing. That video, it looks like it was shot yesterday.
and
Uh,
that was your
that's
three,
my
right?
number three is
Ooh.
Ziggy Stardust.
You know what I'm down to, man? Earl Slick and Station to Station, man.
Station
Not
to station, a little bit higher than me,
three.
that's for sure.
Yeah, he was in a cocaine fog. Yeah, he was that. But the
Love
music,
Earl Slick. Yeah.
TVC 15, Wild as the Wind. I love the cover. I love it. I love the word on a wing is intense.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I have a heart attack, but I love this record. I don't know what it is about it. I've always liked it. I don't.
Station to Station on the stage album. I
Yep.
mean, it was
Yeah, it was, and
and
that's the one
TV,
this is the one I was supposed to go to, and I couldn't go to. I got in trouble. I got in trouble with school, sneaking out and going and getting tickets, and Danny Zay's ended up going. I was so
TVC 15 staple through many of the shows that I saw.
love it.
I think I was at least 10 Bowie shows over the time altogether, 10 to 12.
Wow,
And TVC 15 always popped up. You know, almost every other show or every show I saw it. It was
good. Must
always
be.
it was a staple. So that
Well,
was your number three.
we're down to two now.
Number two,
Dun, 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 dun,
1970 on Mercury Records, The Man Who Sold the World.
dun.
Yeah,
I'm not. You're not going to get much disagreement from me, man,
Width of a Circle.
or you from me.
Um, Man Who Sold the World. I mean, it's chock full of hits. It's chock full of content. I mean, it's one of those that I can just listen to both sides on the vinyl or CD, whatever, and just listen to the whole album. You know,
To
and
me, kind of like it. To me, it was almost as big as in our youth. This record is like White Light, White Heat. It's very
oh
close.
yeah, yeah, all thriller, no filler. You know.
It, it's crushing, man. I love it.
So where are you now for number two?
And we are ready for me with number two. And we're ready for me with number two. And number two is going to be the first shock that I told you when I went to Jack's house. I told you a story on
No, yeah, that's well, like I
but
said,
because of the
easily could have been hell. That could have been number one for me.
Weeping Wall. I like the second side a lot too. Art Decade. I think it's better than the Lodger set. I mean, than the Hero
Yeah,
second.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Breaking
Oh,
Glass.
crashing the same car, man. Just the sound of that guitar
Oh,
and
it's that
the and
the whole Berlin period. Those those could all be number ones for me. I mean, I there's no doubt about it.
yeah, I'm gonna go put these all in protective sleeves when this is done. This is fantastic, man. So we're down to your number one, brother.
Okay, so your two is low. Wow,
Number
that's
two is
cool. Number one, 1980 on the RCA label.
oh
Scary
boy.
Monsters and Super Creeps. Uh,
I knew it would be high on you, man. I knew I
can't
didn't.
can't go wrong with it. Fripp all over it. Powerful album. Hits. Videos were fantastic. Everything about the album is a great sound, great produced album, and many of those songs, from Fashion to Ashes and to Ashes, were concert staples with him. He never abandoned that album. Whenever he played live, you were always going to hear something from Scary Monsters. And I just remember that period in 1980. That was kind of the
You're
high
right.
school period, and that was just a phenomenal. The
Dino's
album,
number one record, man. Scary freaking monsters. I knew it would be. I knew it would be
yeah,
very high. I know it would be number one, man. That's super high.
yeah.
Okay, and you know what mine is too. It's surprising for you. Must be surprising. The one I got left. No question,
Wow,
man.
right to the Diamond Dogs.
1974, man. This ain't
Wow,
rocket.
so you went back to the
Ah,
70s. You went
this
back to the 70s.
sweet thing. I love sweet thing, man.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
we jump in the river, hold hands. Oh my God. We are the dead. I just
yeah.
love
It's a
thing.
great.
That to me is a great, and then chant at the end with that brother and big brother. We are the dead. Rock and roll with me is okay. It's
I love
probably
it.
less of that, but
But
1984 Future Legend, dude, this is it for me. And you know, he played almost all the guitar on this, and that's why I
yeah,
like it. The only record where he did pretty much all the stuff, and I like that. And I know it's not the best guitar playing, but to me, I can feel, I can relate to him, man. His raunchiness, I can relate to it, man, because I'm the same way. So I just want to have it the way I want it with the emotion that I have it. And that's what it's like on here. And it kind of hangs out like a raw nerve. And so to me, that's where I said the peak was in 1977, man. So
yeah. I mean, and like I said, any of those top 10 or 15 could be top three. I could flip
you're,
that list, and I wouldn't have any problem with it.
I agree. So the next ones we're going to have to do, now that we're done this, the next one we're going to have to do is Lou Reed. And then we'll do the Velvets. And then we'll talk about or anything else. We'll think about some other ones before then, but certainly it's going to be a comparison thing because I do want to get back with you and maybe get
Yeah.
another panelist, or maybe not, or maybe just us. We could have enough talk enough for it, but and really discuss kind of the legacy of these two guys of Blue and Bowie, because it's interesting. They each took different paths, but I think they in the end. In the end, they're very. I think it's a very competitive and not that it was that way, but in real life. But I think it's a very competitive career, legend wise. I think
And
they're both revered and rightly so.
and you have to throw in a lot of ways you have to throw Jimmy Osterberg in there also,
Yeah, the
because
terrible. Yeah,
the terrible trio. I mean, and when that iconic picture of all three of them in New York, with their arms around each other, they were together a long time.
yeah. I'll never forget. I think too, and that's another subject we can save for this other thing. But when we talk about the three of those guys, I can't think of any artist anymore whose profile has in reality grown so much since the days of his career. Like when we went to the Bayou and shit in the '80s, dude, he was not.
No, he
It was
was
about half filled. It wasn't
that was
even,
not a sold out show by any stretch of the imagination.
and he was come out, and it was really kind of a low point and kind of living a low life. And it's amazing how post you know post uh post train spotting, really, he's just career just took off. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, and I think he's always been big. I was at the Stooges show at the 9:30, the reunion,
yeah,
and that
a
was
big
pretty. Yeah, that was cool.
was
I
that
mean,
that was John Ashton was there too.
yeah, that was who passed away.
Ron did, yeah.
Ron, yeah. So he was still. That was that was
Was
before
was the other guy playing the guitar? Were they doing the Ron
Williamson
Howard?
or anybody. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Williamson, was he playing with them?
No, I think it was just Ashton on
Yeah,
that one. That was the. But
lovely. And then
I
he,
figured I'd better go. I'll never see that again.
you're right. I should have too, man. When
And
they
then he passed not long after that, a couple years.
Yeah, we got to do that. We'll do the Stooges and do Egg then too. I mean, I just don't know a lot some of his all new stuff, but I know all the old stuff. We did.
Yeah,
But all right, brother. Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We'll get off before everybody else conks out on us, man. It's been really a pleasure to have you here.
yeah,
Uh,
man, it was good. And some things way off, some things are almost in lockstep.
yeah,
Uh,
it's amazing.
you
It
know,
is. It is.
you know where the meat and potatoes are with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if knowing that you like it, it makes me want to check it out again. Maybe I missed something because I don't think you would rate it higher if it wasn't something there. So, and I
Yeah. Yeah.
first, but anyway, man, thanks for coming. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us on this long one. And remember to, if you can help us out by hitting the like button and subscribing and leave your comments below. And we will see y'all next time. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And shout out to our producer, Joe. Thanks for
Yeah,
hanging in with us, Joe.
yeah, for this
Really.
edit. Thanks, yo. See you later, man.
All right, man.
I've
Appreciate it.
needed a
Talk to you
bunch.
soon.
All right, man. Bye.
All righty. Bye bye.